truth. Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
Coming to you live from his padded cell high atop Bethel Church, the most heralded, the most despised talk show in all of human history. This is the talk show Hell Hates. This is Pastor Mike Online.
And here we are, coming to you live from our top secret broadcasting bunker here at Area 52, high atop Bethel Church. This is the talk show Hell Hates. The more you listen, the more you know why. I am amazed, I am stunned at this drone issue. I am really trying my best to understand all of it. And I'll explain why as I go along, because it's a multifaceted issue. There are several different players trying to play on the same playing field all at once. I had a neighbor that used to say that when we were growing up. She said, once or maybe twice. I don't know where they get that. But anyway, there was something hovering above this church where I'm sitting right now last Thursday. I have 3 witnesses. One of them was my daughter Alicia. I'll tell you a little bit about what she said as we go along. But definitely, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing some of the things that I've seen. Then we're going to see those in the light of Scripture. I would like for you to, as we go through this, to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you are not already subscribed, and hit that notification bell, ding, ling, 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 ling. And that way you'll be notified the next time I get something just fantastic from God. I won't say genius, because now that I know where that word comes from, I'm like, I don't want genies telling me what to do or what to say. So anyway, let's get with it. I will wait. I have a video of the very drone that was seen by 3 witnesses hovering over our church. And I would just really like to know why. Why were they there? What were they doing? What was its purpose? Now, I got to try to correct myself as we go through this. The term drone has been used now for everything that's been seen up in the sky. I don't think that everything that has been seen, everything that has been captured on video, I don't think that all of them qualify as what we would consider drones. When we think of drones, we think of either the commercial, privately owned drones that you would buy at Walmart, or you get them at Best Buy, or you get them from Amazon or DJI or whatever. Then there are the police and first responders drones. That is a very important tool that they have. They can send drones up over an area where it would be too dangerous to send a human being up there and get some surveillance. Okay. There's also military drones. And, these don't cost $300 off the shelf. Okay, you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars that these drones cost. Naturally, they can fly farther, they can fly higher, they can drop bombs. They have all kinds of surveillance equipment on, and that seems to be what in some cases is actually being seen. However, any military drone that is out there, no matter how sophisticated and no matter how much money it costs, it still must follow the laws of physics. And just plain as day, there are drones. Here I am saying it. There are UAPs, UFO's that are being seen that defy the laws of physics. Those cannot be something that our military is using to sniff out. They think there's a dirty bomb over on the East Coast somewhere, which could be. And I'll say this. If there is, I would like for the United States military, along with police departments across the country, to launch every drone that they have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until they find that. A dirty bomb being exploded over one of our cities in this country will do major harm to the entire nation. It may even do harm to the nations around us, depending on where it is. So those are our options. Now, I'm going to, let's see here, how do I want to do this? I'm going to get this screen ready. And I'm going to pull up, let's see, what day is today? The 17th. Yeah. Let me try. Oh, this one. I think I like this one. I'm going to put these up on the screen. They're not in any particular order. Some of them I captured last night late, and some I captured earlier over the weekend. But let me switch cameras here and mute that, and bada boom, bada bing. This one I call Scores of Orbs. And naturally, I'm not playing any audio because of the fact that some people, whenever they see something that is just out of sight, they just F all over the place. And we are in a time right now where people don't know how to talk anymore. They do not know how to express themselves other than in the most crude, vulgar language that can be dreamed up. But anyway, these here are not your average run-of-the-mill Walmart drones. They're not military drones. They don't appear to be. They don't appear to be law enforcement or first responder drones. And they do not appear to be Chinese lamps. Nor do they appear to be balloons, like somebody had a balloon release and all of those balloons are up in the air. There seems to be a little bit more determination in their movements. And so I'm just not buying that one. Now, how about, let's see here. Okay, I will play one video with sound because it involves our future El Presidente.
It seems like the American people have big
The government knows what this is.
And I'm going to apologize for the echo and the sound. I don't know what happened with my capture program at home. I don't know why it's echoing the voice, but I think you can hear what he's saying.
Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should.
Okay, now, this may confuse some of you, as it did me. I would assume that President-to-be Trump is receiving certain intelligence briefings every single day. That's customary, that's normal, may even be the law, I don't know. But I am sure that he is being given a certain amount of information. Now, I don't know what President Trump, or President Biden for that matter, or the Clintons or the Obamas, we don't really know the extent of what they were informed concerning UFOs. We know that Hillary Clinton said that when she gets to be the president, she's going to release all the files, which could very well be why she never got to be president. But anyway, there has to be, in some halls of government, somebody with enough intelligence to look at many of the drone or the UAP sightings that's been recent and say those cannot be military drones. They cannot be. So let me just spitball this idea at you. They asked President-elect Trump a specific question: what do you think about these drones? Now, as I said earlier, I think there's drones, and I think there's UFOs or UAPs. I think there are military drones or law enforcement drones or commercial drones, consumer electronics. And they didn't ask President-elect Trump about what he knew or what he thought about any of the UFO sightings. Had they asked him that, he may have answered it differently or not at all. But since they asked him specifically about drones, he may have said, okay, I know what the drones are. Our government knows what the drones are. Why don't they just tell the American people what the drones that they are flying, what they're out there for? But he said they know where they come from. They know where they are. They can go pick them up if they want to. All right? So I think it's the only thing that makes sense right now is that Trump targeted his answer to specifically what they were asking for. I've got a itch up my nostril. Hang on one second. There. There we go. Now you won't see me picking my nose during the program. All right, now let's see here. Let me play this one.
You can see through the trees.
This is News Nation. These are the talking heads there. They're saying this, they're saying that. This is what I want you to see. Now, folks, this is not a drone in the sense of the word applying to either a military flying surveillance mechanism or a consumer electronic flying drone or a police / first responder intelligence device. It's none of these. This is an unknown aerial phenomenon or unknown, how did they make it with ATIP? Advanced aerospace. There we go. This is an unknown aerospace phenomenon here, a UAP. And they zoomed in on it, and I won't get into I won't say a whole lot about when you zoom in with a digital camera and you get a picture like this. It's because the camera and the lens and the digital zoom that you're getting out of most cameras do this to an object that it can't quite focus on. Some people are saying, oh, look, I can see an alien inside there. And then people will say, look, I see a Bigfoot in there. I see a kitty cat in there. Oh, I see an alien holding a grenade launcher in there. People make up all kinds of things that they think they see in there, but what they're doing is they're not seeing what's really there because the camera cannot focus correctly. I mean, I've been seeing stuff like this with digital cameras for years. When you zoom in on a star at night or the moon and you can't get it focused, that's what you're going to see. But this thing just hanging in the sky, it's not technology that either we don't have or certain elements within our government are not releasing the fact that we have it. Okay? So maybe I should include that as a category as well. An alien reproduction, what is it? An ARV, alien reproduction vehicle. It is possible that that's what some of these are, alien reproduction vehicles. Now, President-elect Trump is not going to come out and say anything about them. We know that President Biden is going to come out, and if he was going to say anything about the drones being alien reproduction vehicles, he would end up starting a sentence talking about how black kids used to rub his legs, and then he would just stop talking altogether because he can't remember. I think he's far worse now, talking about Biden. I think he's far worse now than he was during the debate. And I have no idea why someone has not invoked, what is it, the 25th Amendment or whatever it is, that gives the cabinet the right to put a sitting president out of office for medical reasons. The fact that he can't do the job. And it's clear he can't do the job. I mean, go ahead and make history and have, Kamala Harris, the first non-black president, woman, in the history of the United States. But anyway, I'm not running things, so it's not my place. Now, do you remember this? Tom Brokaw.
Where it's really never gone away after some
talking about
the skies over Phoenix recently.
the Phoenix
And here's
lights.
Robert Hager.
This is one of several home videos recorded.
The Phoenix lights, what year was that? 96? Something like that? And thousands of people saw those lights over the city of Phoenix, Arizona, including the governor of Arizona. And he kind of got himself in trouble. He clearly saw it. He admitted to it later. He saw the thing, and I think he called the local Air Force Air Base and said, "I'm the governor. What are you doing out there?" And they said, "We got nothing out there. We don't know what this thing is either." So he comes out the next day at a press conference, and he's got one of his staff members dressed up like an alien, and they got handcuffs on him. And he said, "Yep, this is what we got. You know, we went right to the heart of the," and basically, he made fun of all of his constituents. He made them mad. The people of Phoenix that saw this thing, they're going, "Come on. We saw this. We don't go out every night looking for aliens. We don't go out all the time looking for UFOs. We got better things to watch on TV. But we went out and we saw this thing. And Governor, you did too. Now come clean." And eventually he did come clean. But I think that it's possible that the governor of Arizona was pressured into not saying anything about what he saw. That's how, I mean, it's almost maniacal, crazy-headed. Whoever it is in the halls of our government that is trying to keep a lid on this UAP issue, it's almost like these people are insane. The way that when people start reporting this stuff, they immediately say, "Excuse me, do you love your family? Do you love your job? Would you like to keep it? Would you like to keep your pension, your retirement? And how would it be if maybe your wife and kids died suddenly in a freak automobile accident?" They do stuff like this. This has been testified before Congress. And I just don't know who these people are. But they are guarding what apparently, and what I believe, is the most dangerous secret ever in the history of this planet. The most dangerous secret concerning mankind, concerning mankind's future, concerning ruling this world. And it's all biblical. Every aspect of it is biblical, or I wouldn't be sitting here wearing a MUFON hat. Okay? Now, here's another drone that was on the news. This guy here, I'm going to play a little bit of audio.
This story, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist here, I thought it was going to be some sort of yahoos, and we would get a laugh out of this in several weeks. What happened yesterday completely changed my entire view on this story.
Stop right here. Did you hear what he said? He said, "I thought this was going to be one of those fluff pieces. It's going to go away in a few days. Everybody's going to get a laugh about it. And I guarantee you a reporter like that is like, I hope to God on high that I never, ever, ever have to report on flying saucers ever again. This is going to kill my career. But he said, what happened the other day, that changed me. That's it right there. If there is to be any purpose in, number one, the amount of sightings, number two, the coverage of the sightings, we're no longer dealing with New Jersey. We're dealing with the entire planet. People are seeing this all over. These UAPs just sitting there in the air or exhibiting motions and movements and speeds that are just not possible with the planes, the drones that we have now that we've built. They're doing things that's just not possible. Let me continue on with what he said.
Earlier in the afternoon, I was out with the Ocean City Sheriff's Department. They have a drone unit. They've investigated these things. What they've saw a bunch over the weekend. We did not see any with them last night. I was coming back home. I got a tip. Monmouth County. They're spotting them in Monmouth County. That's where I live. So I raced up here. And I tried to figure out where the picture was that somebody sent me, and sure enough, I saw one. So I trailed it to a neighborhood, a dead-end street, and I got out of my car and I took my phone out with my iPhone, and I couldn't really capture it, but I was staring literally at this drone 200 feet above me, maybe. I called our photographer, Nick, and I said, get up here as soon as you possibly can. Meet me at this location, etc. I tracked a few more to the location where we are right now, over a body of water behind us. And I gotta say, Brian, over the next 2 hours, we saw dozens and dozens of these things, and they look like nothing you've ever seen before.
Did you get all that? In the course of 2 hours, we saw dozens of these, not just one thing. It's still, it irritates me bad when you have the esteemed scientists from Harvard and Yale and, MIT and Caltech come out and say, I go out there and I see the planet Mars. I did last night. I went out last night before I went to bed looking, see what was up in the sky. I saw Orion, the constellation. He comes out in the wintertime. I saw the moon, and I saw just below the moon what I'm pretty sure is the planet Mars. It doesn't twinkle like a little star. It's red, has this reddish tint to it. And but these scientists say, look, some people go out, look at this, and they see a UFO. I go out and I look at it, and I'm going, no, that's the planet Mars. That's not a UFO. And so they take people that have seen something they've never seen before, and they ridicule them and basically make them into ignorant and unlearned people. If you would have just taken astronomy like I did and got a PhD in astronomy, then you would never look up there and say, I think there's life up there. I think there's things visiting this planet. You would say, oh, that's Venus. Or that's Ceti Alpha 5, and that's Ceti Alpha 6. You would know the difference, okay? Some of you might catch what I just said. But anyway, this guy said after 2 hours of watching these things all over the place, he said, I think differently now. And I think, people, that's the point. Now, let me show you this one. This one's interesting. I saw this one on about at least 3 different platforms. This one is one, I got to turn the volume up because people just drop F-bombs. Notice this one. Notice this one. Stop right here. We got one with at least 2 lights here. One that's glowing sort of an amber color, which is, I don't know, it's like the chosen color of UFOs. There's a ton of amber orb sightings. My son, Matthew, saw an amber orb one night. This one here and this one are not going to get along. Okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to take you back here, and I want you to watch this one. See how it speeds up, slows down, turns, goes up, speeds up again, slows down. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's not something that man-made objects can do. We just can't do it. It's defying physical laws. Okay? And we just don't have anything like that we know of. Okay? But watch it. He's going to start to blink. And this person really just kind of ruined this thing by not holding it steady. But the most important thing, she did get, or he did get, fully on camera. So here's the one, 2 lights down here. He's moved all the way down here. All right, it's going to go off camera for a while. They're going to change costumes, I guess. I don't know. And then this one is going to mosey on down here to this amber one. Now watch. Boom, 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 boom. Bam! There it goes. Kaboom! Do you see what I see? I'll play that again. Let me back it up some more. Yeah. It's like they got into a fist fight and the amber one kicked the other one in the rear end and sent it packing down to the earth. Now, obviously, that thing crashed somewhere. As far as I know, there's no news report about it. And by the way, if you think you may have seen where some of these UAP or drones have crashed and that there are fire trucks and police cars right next to it and they're going to haul it away, if you think you've seen that, you have not seen what you think you saw. You have not seen one of these drones, because I guarantee you, if it's a military drone, the military will show up en masse and they will say to everybody in the fire trucks and the police cars, you guys move back and set up a perimeter about 3 miles away from here, and you didn't see nothing here. I guarantee you that. And especially if it turns out to be a UAP of some kind, I guarantee you the military's not going to go, oh, we'll let the firemen get this one for us. Yeah, they're good guys. Oh, we'll let the police handle this. Not going to happen. So when I see, like you may have seen, this guy crossing this highway bridge, and all of a sudden you see over there what looks like a disc in the median, you know, where the grass grows between the highways, and everybody's going, oh, look, that's one of the flying saucers that's been up there. Surrounded by fire trucks and police. I think not. I think the military is like on alert. Guys, sitting in the backs of these big military trucks just waiting to go to the site where some drone or some UAP crashed. Guarantee it. Okay? And why can I guarantee that? I don't know why. I can, I guess. But that's typically the way that it's happened before. Let's see here. Oh, you got to see this one. Oh, my goodness. That's Trump. That's that one. Check this one out. I think I showed this the other day. Guys trying to shoot him down. A guy's trying to shoot that one down. Hey, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. Okay? Watch this one. That one's shooting ray beams. That's the Starship Enterprise. Shooting at Reliant to kill Khan, or that's the Millennium Falcon or whatever. I mean, it's shooting rays out at something. What in the world is that? Let's see here. I lost there it is. Here's another one. Shooting laser beam. Look at that. That's like War of the Worlds. Shooting out these laser beams that just instantly turns people into ash, and they just blow away in the wind. Oh my goodness. Here is this one. Now this is not a military drone. It's not a military drone. It's not a commercial drone. The only thing we could say about that is this is an unknown aerial phenomenon. That's what we could say about it. We don't know what it is. We don't know where it came from, other than it came from the ocean. Let's see here. Keep rising and keep rising and keep rising. Here is this I like. These are little dancing lights inside the clouds here. Taken from an aeroplane. Kind of surprises me that there wasn't a couple of men in black waiting for them at the gate, knowing that they had taken video of a couple of 3 UAPs flying. How about this? Is not military hardware. This is not a United States military asset, they call it. It is something much larger than an asset. It's like these 3, they take on this perfect triangle and then put themselves down in the water. Look at that. Perfect triangle. Now that's some pretty good flying there. Let's see here. Let's see. Flight. We saw that. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, this is Argentina. And, I mean, it's got different colors up there. And there's scores of them. Here's from Brazil. A similar situation. You got multiple UAPs or UFO's up in the sky. This is not just something from, I guess they're calling this the UFO triangle, maybe? I don't know. Let's see here. Where's the video I started out with on Tuesday? I showed that and people got really interested. It was the drones. It was the video where the guy did like a time lapse of all these lights. Maybe it's back here somewhere. No, can't find it. Can't. All right, now, couple more. Oh, okay. This one's pretty interesting. It's on the wrong screen. Floating humanoid object over Portland. That's just somebody that's high on all those legal drugs. They're coming down and they don't like it. Oh, boy. No, that's not it. That's not really much of anything. There's a blue light shows up in the ocean there, and that's about it for that one. All right, let me show you this one. This is a TikTok video. Drones. This I don't know who the person is that took it. I do know that very same light. Let me read to you a text. First of all, my daughter Alicia called me and said, "Dad, I saw one of those drones or whatever it was right over the church." And I went, "Are you kidding me?" She said, "No." And she said, while I was standing out there looking at it, I could hear the train going through town. There's a railway that goes right through Festus and Crystal City, east to west. And she said, I wasn't sure what I was looking at. And then she said, I was going through TikTok and saw that somebody else not only saw it, but had the wherewithal to record it. And this is the recording of it. Again, this is not, or does not seem to be, your average drone, we'll call it. There is a hospital just about 4 blocks from where I'm sitting right now. They have a helicopter pad, and we are used to hearing and seeing helicopters going to and from this hospital for various patients' needs and so on. But this doesn't appear to be one of those. It does. I can see two lights there. One in the back, smaller. One in the front seems to be larger. There's a little bit better picture of it there. It's glowing and vibrating and so on. And my sister, who we used to call Amazon, I never did call her Amazon, but she was lovingly called Amazon when we were in high school because she was tall like me. But she sent me this, and she said, Dad, or not Dad, my sister doesn't call me Dad. She said, someone posted this on Facebook, and here's the post. Did anyone else see the drone over Festus? See, it's two lights. There it is. Thursday night. I had no idea what was going on with the drone sightings in the country until someone sent me a video on it yesterday, and when I saw it, I almost fell out. Listen to this, I witnessed it flying over the church on American Legion Drive. There's only one. This one. And they said, it thought it was really strange because it didn't look like the usual helicopters that usually fly from the hospital. Let me play this again here. Here we go. It didn't look like the helicopters that usually fly from the hospital, and it made no noise. No propeller, no jet, no exhaust, no tailpipe, nothing. And they said it was round, the lights were different than a helicopter, but I talked myself into it being a helicopter and not being able to hear it because the train was coming through town and my hearing not being good. I am just floored right now at what I saw and wondered if anyone else saw it too. I know someone did because there's a semi-viral TikTok from a lady in Festus who made the video, and that's this video. If you're the person, let me know. And it says drones over Festus, Missouri, Jefferson County, 12/12/24, which actually is 24/24 because 12 plus 12 is 24. Anyway, but again, right over the church. 3 witnesses saw it. 2 of them identified it as being right over where I'm sitting here. And I want to know why. I want to know what it was. The first thing I thought of is some kind of surveillance where they would fly over the church, pick up the church's Wi-Fi signal, hack into it, and have access to all of our computers here at the church. And we have a couple dozen of them. Okay? I don't have much in the way of sensitive information, not anything that's not locked up per se. And anything that I see or say, there's nothing secret that I talk about. Even when I talk about this, I don't get together in a... You remember that chamber on Get Smart where they had to lower it down and Maxwell Smart and the chief would try to talk to each other and they'd go, huh? What'd you say? Because they couldn't hear each other. But anyway, no, we don't have one of those either. And so, I mean, I don't know. But it's interesting nonetheless. We do live in interesting times, people. Very, very interesting times. Now that I'm done showing the videos, let's get down to business and show the Word of God. Okay? Now remember, last week I showed you this. A drone or some form of UAP, UFO, wouldn't really classify as a flying saucer. It's not really saucer shaped. Landing on the tarmac at Manchester Airport, Manchester, England. Not only did it land there, but it rose up and hovered over the airport for an unknown amount of time. And just, I've seen it. I don't know about anybody else, but just at the very tail end of that video, the drone disappears just like that. And I referred to it as like unpopping popcorn. You know, popcorn pops, it splays out like that. Well, when you unpop it, which you really can't, it all folds back in on itself and then it disappears. And so when I saw this, I thought to myself that it's possible that the entities behind all of these UFO sightings, UAP sightings, so on and so on, it's possible that they are going to take it up a notch and let more and more people become aware of their presence. Now, I'm going to read a couple of verses that I've read a jillion times. Not a jillion times. That's to Sister Jillian down in Texas. But a jillion times. Where it says, finally, my brethren, Ephesians 6. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. And then, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. My question to all of those who would listen to me, and my question to all my preacher friends, whom I love dearly. I don't have any real fellowship in this area. There are not really any preachers that call me, want to go out and eat lunch together. Nothing. So the pastors that I do know, I regard my friendship with them as some of the best thing that I've had. And maybe some of them don't really see this issue the way I see it. So I don't want to break fellowship with anybody over it. But I do believe that this is as serious as anything else can be. They're talking about a nuclear dirty bomb with the possibility of it being exploded over a major city like New York. People, that would have absolutely devastating results on the entire world. Stock markets will crash all over the world. Okay? It'll just be a mess because you're just blowing radiation particles all over the place, making, number one, everybody who is in that area is more than likely going to die a very slow, painful death. And number two, it's going to be spread out over a wide area, more so than just a nuclear blast. But I'm saying to you that this subject is far more important than even a nuclear missile or a nuclear bomb, the possibility of it exploding. Because of what's behind this, what this brings to this world. This is your new world order, people. This is it. We always thought that there was going to be some guy who had such a way of speaking that he'd just get everybody to do what he says. But what if it's not just some guy? What if it really is somebody that we can't wrestle with in flesh and blood? You ever think about that? So what's behind these is a spiritual trap that aims to draw people away from their faith, their trust, their belief in the Word of God. You don't think it's possible? Look around you. Look around you. Try to find some King James church somewhere. Try to find them. Try to find one that'll actually stick with it. Okay? But anyway, that's the core of it. This is what we're wrestling against. This is all spiritual being put right in front of our eyes. Now, so I used this the other day, and just pretend now. See this guy right here? Okay, let me get a pen. I'll draw him out here for you. Okay, see this guy right here? He doesn't want to be down here. He wants to be up here. Okay, where X marks the spot. He wants to be up there. But he can't just jump up there. He's got to go step by step. These first 3 steps are called the Blue Lodge. Once you're initiated into the Blue Lodge, you've pretty much proved yourself that you've got potential. But they're not after the Blue Lodge, after you pass the 3rd degree. And that's where we get that phrase. What are you giving me the 3rd degree for? Because it's an examination. They want to know if you really are going to stick to the principles of Freemasonry. If you're going to climb this pyramid one step at a time. Or are you going to try to leap ahead like you know more than everybody else? And the Masons look at you and say, "Oh, I don't think so, Brother John or Brother Frank or Brother George. Yeah, they call each other brother in there. So this he's on step 3. He's gone through the Blue Lodge. Now he's got to go to the 4th step. And he's going to receive some instruction there. He's going to be a little bit enlightened there on that 4th step. But then he wants more. He wants to go higher. So he's going to take another step. And with that other step, he's got something to learn. And he also has some part of a secret given to him. Because he's earned it. You get what I'm saying? He thinks that achieving the 33rd degree, getting that lambskin Masonic apron, is going to give him a free pass right into glory. Because God's going to see his lambskin apron and say, "Come, thou good and faithful servant." What really God's going to say is, "Oh, look, we've got us another wolf in sheep's clothing." That's what we got. And he would be right, too. So, before this, people really weren't paying a whole lot of attention to the congressional meetings. I don't think any of this is an accident, people. We've had brand new congressional hearings on the subject of UAPs. And the fact that our government is aware that there is a clandestine, secret cabal, if you want to use that word, and it would fit, but a secret group of men. I better do it like this. An elite, secret group of men working behind the scenes in halls of government that are hiding the fact that we have been in contact with entities from beyond this world, and that we have actually been talking to one of them over 50 years ago, and that we are reverse engineering, in some cases, completely, perfectly intact alien vehicles. Okay? Now, what I just told you is not only a verifiable truth, it's biblical truth. Biblical truth. And that's the only truth that counts. I mean, all this other stuff that we're seeing, we're looking at it, and those of us who believe the Bible say, this is that which was spoken by David, the prophet, or Moses, or Paul, the Apostle Paul. This is that which was spoken by these men. And the Bible is the book that contains and reveals all secrets, every one of them. And I'm happy and content spending my lifetime searching out what all of those mysteries are. But this picture itself basically is a mystery. They don't tell you that written down here somewhere that you must climb this if you want to achieve godhood in heaven, And you don't even have to go to church. We don't say the word Jesus, so if that bothers you, then you don't have to worry about that either. We got no Bible we're going to make you read. All we want you to do is follow along, do what we tell you to do, and deal with it. But actually, you're looking at the secret of Nebuchadnezzar's dream. You're looking at it. You say, well, I don't see it there. See these two pillars? One of them is J, and the other one is B. Jim Beam. No. Although it could be. Because some Masons are alcoholics, and they don't care. Jachin and Boaz. And notice that if I were to zoom in on this, Boaz, this little globe up here, is the globe with the 12 constellations and the different stars up in the sky. So that represents the heavens. This one here is a globe of the earth. It represents the globe of the earth. They are joined together by this royal arch, and the arch itself is held together by the keystone. Okay? I won't have time to get into all this. The main point I'm trying to make with this is that let's say that mankind was on this level here. Okay? And we needed a catalyst to get us to want to move up one step. And so this happens. And it catches people's attention, but not as big as they wanted. So then they start, I got to move ahead here. They start putting all these lights in the sky. This is Lubbock, Texas, 1951. You talk about a UFO wave. This happened in the 1950s, so much so that Life magazine sent a writer and a photographer out there to take pictures. And they got pictures of the lights. That's the actual Lubbock lights from 1951. Let's see here. The Phoenix lights, which I mentioned to you earlier. March 13th, 1997. Tens of thousands of people. And not only that, it made the news all over the world that these mysterious lights just showed up over the city of Phoenix. Phoenix on the 33rd parallel. Dun, dun, dun. Where is that button? So every time now some big UFO thing happens, mankind goes up a step. It's sort of like, I like to watch movies from like the 40s and 50s, what they call film noir, especially like detective movies, things like that. And you see the way the people lived back then. You don't have women driving around in cars in their bikinis back in the 40s, but you do now. Okay? There's just a lot of things, the way people lived and what was commonly acceptable to appear like back in those days, that we are so far removed from there, we would never even, if they passed a law in Missouri that said that all men had to wear suits and hats if they ever went outside their house, and all ladies must wear a proper dress and must have a real nice hat on her head and wear gloves and go to baseball games like that and have picnics like that and all that stuff. There would be a revolt over that. We wouldn't do it. But we've been brought to the place now where not only people can ride around in their cars or their motorcycles with not much on, but they can march in, gay pride parades, literally. I won't even say it's bad. And they're allowed to do it. Whereas 50, 60 years ago, they would be arrested for being like some of them are in a gay pride parade. But you see, we didn't get there overnight. We got there in steps. One little step at a time. To where eventually there will be open public nudity. And we're already close to that now. So this is the devil. Remember, he's subtle. He is subtle. Just taking one step may not sound like a whole lot, but it is, because you're one step higher than you used to be, and you're one step closer to being like the Most High up here. And that's what all of this is about. It's about getting man to accept the chariots as harbingers of good things. Okay? If you get man to accept that, things will be all right. So, now, I pulled this out from a thing I'm working on now. This is the tarot card called the Chariot. And I did some research into this. The canopy up here is the stars of heaven. So, that's part of what it represents. Okay? And I want you to think of all of these as cars, chariots, carriages. All of them have the same derivative word. Okay? Something that carries something. A carriage, a car, a chariot. Okay? His crown is an octagram. That's the number 8, which the Antichrist is the 8th and is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. His emblem down here is the winged sun. So he's trying to be like Jesus, the Son of Righteousness that arises with healing in his wings. We're looking at the Antichrist is what we're doing. Okay? And what is it that's bringing the Antichrist to us? The chariot. That's what's doing it. The chariot is drawn by opposing hybrids. You have a white lion over here. You have a black lion right here. Okay? And this lion has a white headdress on with black stripes. This one has a black headdress on with white stripes. How can you tell the difference? No, it's the same as zebras, right? One zebra is white with black stripes. The zebra standing next to him is black with white stripes. But anyway, they're hybrids too. This is the face and the head of a man, the body of a beast. Okay? And the number here. Even though this is card number 7, remember, he is the 8th and is of the 7. Okay? So we have Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, gathered all of his hosts together, and there were 32 kings with him, and horses and what? Chariots. What do those chariots represent? That's what they, so we have 33 here together. Ben-Hadad with 32 other kings. That's 33. And then down here, king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had rule over his what? Chariots, saying, fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. Fight the king of Israel. Who's the king of Israel? Messiah ben David. Jesus, the son of David. Amen. And then 1 Chronicles. Look at this. So they hired 32,000 chariots. And the king of Maacah and his people. 32, and then you add 1. 33. And the children of Ammon gathered themselves together from their cities and came to battle. Now, oh my goodness, I don't think I'm going to get to where I want to get to today with this. But you remember where we saw that video? Let's see if I can find it. Where the one orb got shot down. Was it this one? Yeah. Remember this one? Okay. So let's say that these two orbs here are alien. Let's just say it like that. Let's say that these two orbs are alien. They're not from this world. They were not born here. They were not created here. They live up in the heavens. And these two orbs are alien. Okay? The question to ask is, why are they not getting along? Why is it that when one that defies the laws of physics by its speed and its motions joins or tries to approach the other one, he gets beat up and kicked down? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Why is that? We always want to think that all the players that are on the bad side, they're all in it together. Every one of them. And they all follow the rules. They all follow the plan, the Illuminati plan, and they always work together in perfect harmony. But that's not true. It's totally not true. The fact is, Jesus addressed that very issue. And because they accused him of casting out devils by Beelzebub, the king of devils. And Jesus said, no, guys, wait a minute. Let's just think about this for a minute here. Let me just kind of locate the flaw in your reasoning. So let's say that I am working with Satan. Okay? And we're working together. We're going to bring in the New World Order. Okay? But then, Satan, makes me mad, and he has me set up to be killed and all this stuff. And And I'm going to go and I'm going to shoot laser beams out of my mouth at him. You know, the sword of the word of God coming out of his mouth. I'm going to shoot that light beams out like a lightsaber, and I'm going to blow him up. Okay? Even though the two teams are evil, doesn't mean that they all going to work together to destroy what's good. It ain't going. It doesn't happen that way. Jesus said, if I be on Beelzebub's team, how can our kingdom stand? How can it do that? And when you think about that, you take that principle and you go back to Daniel chapter 2, where you got the image standing and the 2 feet with the 10 toes. And I always assumed that all of those toes are working together. They're on the same team. You know, they're all liking one another and so on and so on. But that kingdom is divided. It's part of iron and part of clay. And because of that, a stone is going to come out, and no man has cut that stone with his hands. It just came out of the hillside, and it goes right down to the toes of the image and goes smash, and the image falls down to the ground and turns into little dust pieces, and it's blown away like chaff with the wind. And that's it. A kingdom divided against itself cannot what? Stand. And that's how it's going to happen. Okay? So even though they're in a league today, they may very well turn on each other tomorrow. Amen? That too is biblical. In the day of Jehoshaphat, when the 3 armies, the Edomites, the Moabites, and the Ammonites, were all going to come down and kill the king there, King Jehoshaphat in Jerusalem, and kill all the soldiers, and they're going to take over the city, and they're going to take their women and turn their boys into slaves or whatever, and they're going to steal all their food and all their gold and everything like that. They're going to take it all. But what they didn't know was God's going to send them confusion, and when they get down ready to fight, they just assumed that Israel was going to show up and play by the rules and fight with them. So they see one army comes down, and it sees the other army, and it goes, that must be the Israelites. And so they start fighting each other. And then, the Moabites come down, and they go, let's see here. We're going to side. We think the Edomites here are the Israelites, so we're going to join forces with this group over here, and we're going to fight one another. And they fight and fight and fight until the last 2 guys are thrusting swords into each one's heart and falling at the same time. I'd love to see that in a movie. Okay? But they all worked against each other. And that's exactly how this is going to happen. Because it's divided against. So those 2 drones that you just saw, let's say that both of them were alien vehicles. Well, what is one doing destroying the other? We're going to talk about that on Thursday. I'm going to make you wait. Okay? But it's pretty cool. Now, the meaning of the Chariot tarot card. It connects the chariot to spiritual ascension. Remember what the pyramid was for? You ascending up to the El Capo, the top. Okay? And that's what the chariot represents. Well, I didn't tell you that his belt and his loincloth here has the 12 constellations on it. 12 always is a reference to, and I've kind of changed my mind over the years on the number 12. I said that 12 was God's promise. Yeah, it is. But I do think it has more to do with God's promise given to us to be part of the celestial kingdom, to be as the stars of heaven for number, like God told Israel like a dozen times or more. He told them that they will be like the stars of heaven. And so in the 12 constellations, each constellation having its own month. And so anyway, they're going to connect to the chariot, and this is spiritual ascension. Portraying it, watch this, as a vehicle for transcending earthly limitations. Did you see that? Now, I've been trying to get this idea across. To get us puny, Bible-believing Christians to believe in something that is huge. It is going to be, like I said, the most, outside of, if we exclude all of the miracles of the Bible and Christ's resurrection and all of these wonderful things that we believe in as Christians, if we take those and just kind of put a little barrier there and we look at only what the world has done in the last 6,000 years, what's going to happen to this world, the likes of which have never, not only have they never been seen, they weren't even thought of. We went to the moon. Yeah, we did. I know you don't believe that, but we did. And God said it here. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence, and though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. The bottom line is, they climb up to heaven to get away from God. That's not just Amos. That's Obadiah. Okay? His mama must have knew what kind of son he would turn out to be. That's Obadiah. He ain't never been good. And Obadiah prophesies concerning the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high. We sent guys to the moon. How many astronauts were in the Apollo program that actually went up into space? Gus Grissom, Roger Chaffee, and Ed White, I think his name was. They were Apollo 1. They never made it. There was a sacrifice made in a high place. That's what I think. But after that, you have these unmanned missions, and then you have these manned missions of Apollo. And from the time they started putting men in space in Apollo craft until the last one came back down to the earth, Apollo 17, that was 11 trips to space with 3 astronauts apiece in there. 33 astronauts. That's another one. You can't make this stuff up. But anyway, in Obadiah, God said, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. That's twice now. He talks about their habitation being on high. Well, I think it was the crew of Apollo 13. Yeah. Because of the fact that they couldn't land on the moon, they had to take an orbit around the moon and let that gravity slingshot them back toward Earth. And they actually, because they had to widen their orbit around the moon to get so that the moon didn't pull them down and cause them to crash on the moon, they had just enough of the moon's gravity to slingshot them back. Because of that, they are the men who traveled the highest and farthest that any man has ever traveled in space. Did you know that? Apollo 13, that took off at 1:13 p.m., that's 13:13. I mean, even the astronauts and their wives were like, why did they have to pick 13? Why 13? Why 13? Okay? But they had to go higher than any other astronaut has ever gone before. They broke the world record. The only people who can break it after that would be people going to Mars. Anyway, that's what this is about. Spiritual ascension. Climbing the ladder. Like I say, before this, no one was paying attention. After this, some people are paying attention. Now that we have drones everywhere, you've got a lot of people paying attention. And a lot of people who don't have answers because they don't believe the Word of God. Okay? Oh, wait till oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Wait. Just wait. Okay? Just wait. It'll be coming up soon enough, and we'll have fun with it, all right? How about some happy music? Good to be with you today. I hope that something I said has helped you today, encouraged you. Don't be afraid of this stuff. Don't be afraid of it. God knows about it. It's probably in God's will. This is what I want done. This is how I want it done. And God's got your name written in the book of life. So what are you worried about? Okay? Hey, I love you. We're going to try to do a pretty good size feeding right after Christmas. Michael is going back to Kenya. His wife, my daughter Alicia, is going. My wife is going. I'm not going to be going. I'm going to be staying here. But they're going to be going. They're going to be doing a feeding in Turkana. Help us pray about that, that we can actually feed more people than we normally do. And just help us pray about that, okay? And I pray that God will provide, that if it's His idea, He'll take care of it, all right? I love you, and I want to say to all of you, God bless you. I thank God for you all the time. I really do. And we'll see you tomorrow night for Wednesday Bible study.